Hi again. I am not able to see the controls on my laptop, YouTube, desktop, and I don't know why. And this is weird. So I'm going to be refreshing this screen. Oh, it's not beautiful. Hi again. My name is Hari Om Vashisht, and today is, I think, day 32 of me learning and building live Salesforce Agentforce agents, giving my autonomy to my agents slowly. Hmm, feels good. Feels good to be able to govern the machine to do what you intend to. Hey, feels like a superpower. So, I am working behind a very clear goal to generate $1 million in the year 2026, and this is beyond me goal. I don't really know. I'm learned someone. I am someone who believes he can. So this goal, technically, this goal breaks my ego, shatters my ego to push me beyond who I am. Okay. Uh, so I am yet to my take my second attempt for my Salesforce Agentforce certification. In the first one, I failed by 6% marks, and now I'm going deeper into the elements of being a Salesforce Agentforce specialist. I'm calling it a second inning of my pursuit, where I am being ruthless about what I understand and building on live broadcast. So I figured, so I have an agent which is live on my website, on my other website, which is a platform that I'm using to build my agent. The platform is basically a discipline program for kids. I needed a platform to build an agent. Now I have a platform. I'm defining the platform, slowly improving that, but that's not the core of this agent. Now, this agent is based on Salesforce Agentforce. It's a uh, so it's designed carefully to answer to the questions related to this project. Okay, I started with the requirement document of this agent. This agent has a, I think, da-da-da, this agent has hmm, a requirement document published on this uh, GitHub level, GitHub, I would say, repository. Okay, so in that, okay, in that there's a requirement document behind the agent I wanted to build. So these are the two documents. I'm not going to open that. So what happened is that when I built this draft about 2 months ago, then I built the agent, then I started improving it, then I fell into some pit that I could not come off. Then I took a step back because I had carefully, or basically, the system enabled me to do the versioning and delete the ones I am not able to resolve. Okay, so the recent thing I'm stumbled upon is data library chunking and the related things that impact the business. So I'm more business oriented now. Okay, so I'm questioning the core of things that why your Salesforce agents give wrong answers. That's the pitch. That's the question I'm starting my session today. To be to be uh, talking to my ICP eye to eye. So I'm to looking, looking at a person or looking at a team, and asking in a very structured manner, in a very humble and I would say curious, scientific, research oriented person that I am, I believe. I would simply be asking, do your agents answer wrong questions? So, the wait a second, give me the necessary questions. These are the prompts I used in my recent conversation, and yeah, this is the title for the session for today, right? Why your Salesforce agents give wrong answers even when the data is right. So, I made a mistake and I learned from that. What is the mistake I made? Hmm? What is the thing that taught me like this is the thing I need not to do ever again, right? Um, so I fed this website's text content, everything in that. I exported this Notion page. So this website is technically a Notion page with a lot of FAQs, and that's all the information that is was like helpful to do the, I don't know, uh, description, but it's not enough. I think there is more that I have not been able to see right here. This page I think is also in the document, and there's more. Right. So these all this document, this rule, the export of this website, I submitted to the agent force for using as a as a as a core to understand and answer the questions. So my agent still answers. Yeah. If you ask the this agent like, who is the author of this agent, it tells you my name or something, right? Something just happened. I don't even know. I must check because I think I was able to get this answer yesterday, and after that, nothing changed. Questions about the discipline. Oh, tell me about the author of this program. So, my agent is not really well designed yet. I understand. Um, I think I got the answer yesterday. And this is what is wrong with my agent, if I understand this right. Tell me about the program. Okay, so what is wrong with my agent is that this all this pro- document in the of the website. See, it just something just happened. It gave me an answer and it like pulled it back. Hey, so what happened is that the chunking behind this all this data went wrong, right? Um, this and how it went wrong. So I have a lot of learnings from there. Customer queries are not failing because the AI, they are failing because system structure, right? So my agent is not answering the questions I it must answer. I expect it to answer. Yesterday it was working, today is not, and I even can like test it from various modes because that is the core of essence of what we build, how we build. Do we make it? How do we make it more reliable for the things we wish to do? Right. So I will ask, who is the author of the program? I don't expect this to answer this time also, but let us see because this is the thing that helps us understand. See, it is answering the question and it wasn't answering the same question here. That is the problem with my agent. The, if I could show you, I'll take a moment and slowly I'll keep moving forward in this direction. So my agent, the documentation that has been fed in the system library is not designed well, and that is the question. So when was the last time your system gave an answer that didn't feel right? So my agent like is now answering a question in a way that no, it's not the right answer. You dude, you're allowed to tell the answer. So that's one of the questions I think that is there in the FAQs. It should have answered. It did not. I don't know the audience of this platform would ever ask this question. That is also a matter of things that my agent should be tested on. Okay, my platform is still trying to load. Okay, so the next element of this session I want to move to today is does your system give answers to different answers to the same question? Yes, my agent. If you talk about me as a system owner, yes, I am facing that problem. Does it depend on who handles the case? Currently, there's nothing much in that context. Do answers feel incomplete, too long, slightly off? Yes, right. So that is not a support problem. That's the architecture problem of the platform. If I ask your team the same question, will I get the same answer every time? That's the thing we are trying to solve for, and that's the thing actually system should be designed for, right? So if that is the case, like if the people often give different answers, and people will give different answers because you cannot rely on people to memorize, remember, and answer the things that they they cannot possibly remember. You don't you should never today in 2026, right? Do not expect a human to do remember a lot of things, do a lot of things that may burn them. You may rely on humans for strategy, plan, but execution is although it's also execution that humans have to take care of, but that is why the autonomy, we are outsourcing our skills and autonomy to the agents that that we only deeply understand but cannot explain. Wow, what did I just say? Okay, does it depend on who's answering? So I'm moving to the next point about this conversation. A real customer question: what should I expect in the first 2 weeks after signing up? So if I am the uh, person behind a Salesforce platform who's having a messy Salesforce platform, right? Uh, and if I'm hiring myself, like, yeah, I'm this other person that can help this person with this messy Salesforce thing. So, what is this owner of this, or yeah, the person who takes care of the short term, mid long term goals? What is that they can expect in 2 weeks after signing a project with me, right? uh, that is where I'm coming in as a executionist, generalist, or I would say, uh, I don't know, there's a lot I can do, but in short, I would say I can pinpoint what the system um, error is, but in a way, I will also feed, or I would say, um, I can map your system in a way that you will understand where the problem is. In a plain, simple, simplest form of words. That's my pitch. My pitch is, I can map your system in a way that will tell you the problem, and we'll also be able to try to find the root cause together. And I can ask a lot of questions that maybe the experts are not asking, but in a way that I am a beginner. So I have not seen a real Salesforce messy environment yet. Um, I'm a systems thinker. I'm a builder. I'm someone who understands a lot of perspectives, who knows how to learn, who persists through difficulty, like a maze, like a piece of puzzle that only needs to be put together, changed, and rotated a few times, that can actually solve a problem, right? So I care about solving a puzzle. I have been a puzzle player since some long time. Google Games, I don't know Google, what is that? So it also categorizes me as a puzzle solver, and I have been. So when I found that there are a lot of real world puzzles, I stopped playing mobile games. So if this question comes to you today, where does your system actually get their answer from? Hmm? A document, a person, or a system? What is the answer? Right? So the point is, failure point one, fragmented answer. The program runs for 6 weeks. That's a system response. Problem is, it's technically correct, but it's incomplete, right? So if someone asks, like, tell me about the program, if it says program runs for 6 weeks, it's incomplete. It's right, but it's incomplete, right? It's not useful. System retrieved a piece, not an answer. Have you ever seen answer that is correct still not helpful, right? So it just happened, although it answered differently, but my existing agent does not answer the same question same time, same way every time, right? And I know how to solve it to some great extent. So I'm going to be, in next few sessions, I'm going to be redesigning the documentation, feeding it again to the data library, rebuild the chunks, and then rebuild my agent to test it again with the same questions on various ways. I'm also I've also been working on testing my agent through test library, and there are some technical issues that I'm yet to explore. So I'm also planning to pick up a thing that is cloud code to help me with automation of a lot of things that I now need to do manually. Oh my god! So that is what it is all about, right? It's about giving our autonomy to the agent so that we can think, we can have a piece of like patience in our head and ask the right questions. That's all that is there to be left with. AI cannot ask the right questions. AI may never understand the context very well until it lives in our head, right? Does the system answers are facts or actual questions? Hmm. So overloaded answer is system response long. It can be long, it can be everything included, hard to follow. So if that is the case, problem is too much information, no focus. Have you seen answers that are too long? Yes, there are sometimes. Is the system optimization for completeness or clarity? Right? So, what is the optimizing for completeness? Right? So, it's also about humans. What are they optimizing for? I generally try to optimize for fun, optimize for breaking the norm and what is there. So I look at this live stream learning and building and pitching session, because there's no other way in my head, in a way that I don't really understand any other way, in a depth, in such depth that uh, there's no point playing catch up with the industry. I have my own constraints. Everyone has their own, and I'm playing with my constraints in a way that I can. it's a it's a very constraint driven universe, right? So I'm taking care of some responsibilities, and this is one of the things that I am putting around myself as a system, right? So I'm a systems builder. I put myself in a in a system that I can optimize, right? So I try to optimize for the things that I care about, right? I need to care about. It's like creating my own leverage. Um, I don't want to digress that right now, but there's a poem I wrote few months ago. The poem title is "From Patterns to Prophecy," and I want to jump to that for a moment. So, and why? Because am I able to load the session now? Wait a second. It did not. Or I have the website open. No. Yeah, here it is. So this poem, from patterns to possibilities to prophecy, uh, and I wrote that this poem in a single night when I sat down to think about it. Like, wow, I uh, I see something new in the universe, and this poem came into existence because content gives us authority, and authority, we actually get some leverage, but uh, because everyone has their own systems, right? You cannot compete with any other soul. In a way, they have their own context, they have their own background, everyone has their own. So my context allows me to play with my variables in a way that enable me to be the best of me. So I'm not going to be reading the whole poem today. Okay, from here, I'm going to be jumping into my Salesforce account because this is where the truth comes in. And what is that you believe? That is the question. Do you aspire to make Salesforce the single source of truth? And it's okay if you don't aspire to, but everyone in the team has to agree to that. So it's like they may say they agree and they may do it differently, right? And you might need an external consultant like me who can say it on someone's face that, dude, yeah, you are saying that you care about making your Salesforce platform or account, or the daily activities, um, much like the single source of truth. But if everyone is doing that, then only it makes sense. If some people are slacking somewhere and not really able to do the basics, it kills. So we'll be jumping to the data library, and today I'm doing it like as a very raw beginner, but soon I wish to do it all through. Like, what exactly do I also am planning to build these agents with the help of Claude, improve and document and do everything that a human can. So I was trying to look at my library, and which is where the truth is. Right? So I will come back to that. Um, Misalignment answer, talk about something else, not what was asked. It happens. So when the agent is not answering the right question, you know, again, it picks up the wrong context, irrelevant context. System retrieves the wrong idea. And it could be very complex idea. My project is like very simple, talking about discipline. We may be talking about like artificial intelligence itself. Hey, it can be. a system that is dependent on a lot of other things. So that's important. So root causes: system has the data, system retrieves text, system needs understanding. Your system retrieves text, your customer asks for meaning. So that is where the art of using artificial intelligence also comes into picture, oh, because the automation part of it does not care about the meaning, right? The meaning is what is hidden in the use of basics that we call large language models. They can understand the meaning if we provide them the chunk very well. I don't know, I should say chunk, but yeah, it fits in the situation that we need to provide them the right chunks to be able to understand the meaning of the thing that the customer is looking for. Hmm. So when the answers go wrong, what do you what do you blame today? AI, data, or how things are structured, right? So you need to understand what you are trying to solve for. What is the problem you are trying to solve? So technically, it all comes down to defining the right problems to be solved. We may think about, we may start with something else, but maybe the actual problem is somewhere else, and something else like we don't even describe it in the initial few points, right? So the real problem, how your knowledge is structured. You tell me how your knowledge is structured. Is it like a PDF file that has very clean structure that is expected by the system? Let's go back to my intelligent context. That is the best part of maybe using Salesforce, because it has truly tried to standardize a lot of things that businesses need to, right? Very small business, this is not even a business, right? My platform, three mistakes of my life.in, it's a very raw idea in my head that is just published as a Notion page. My point is how beautifully it has tried to enable my business to answer the questions for the project, for the end user, anyone. But I have not designed it yet. I have not used the superpowers of artificial intelligence and Salesforce yet. I'm not optimizing the this platform sales. I'm not even advertising or creating content, or optimizing its what is that, Amazon linking page. It still says three mistakes of my life, but nobody's going to buy, uh, like has bought this product in last about long time. And that is where the thing that comes in, that is like, are we optimizing the right funnels? What is that you're optimizing for? I'm not optimizing for the sale of this product. It costs me about 75 rupees. With delivery it may be like 125 or 30, 40, 50. I may still have a, profit per item, but this element is more than I want to sell. This needs to be repackaged in various with various elements that I have not even thought about yet. Okay, so not doing that intentionally. So what is that you are optimizing for? What is the problem you're trying to solve for? If I look at your system, is it built to store knowledge or answer questions? Knowledge is there, right? There are answers. There is something that you don't even know. Um, I'll show you. I wanted to look at chunks in my data. Oh my god. So a good chunk is equal to answerable unit. That's the very important part. I wanted to bring into this conversation. Answer one real question, has full context, is self-contained, matches how customers ask, right? So I have also divided my document, the core document, in parts with the help of this one of the custom GPT by somebody, but I don't believe that yet. It's a strong, meaningful like parts, and I can save it as some other file format. Then, but I'm still digging into that, and I'm going to be coming to that soon. So, uh, are we on the right page? The program runs for 6 weeks. That is the answer as an example. And if your system gave you the first answer, would you consider it be satisfied? Right. So this answer should not be considered complete because it leaves a lot of assumptions in the like void. Right. Now system audit. Uh, if I have to audit your system, that's what is the question here, right? Can this answer a real question fully? Does it make sense alone? Does it match how customers ask? Hmm. So, can your system answer a real question fully? Is if I isolate one piece, does it still make sense? So these are the parts that need to be answered from the knowledge base, and my current system doesn't do that. I think I want. Yeah, look at this. Look at this part. This is one of the chunks. It's just a set of text in Hindi and English, and oh my god, this is the stupid form of chunking documentation document usage as a chunk as a intelligent context, right? So this is like a not a real context. Oh, I can set the chunking rules. So these are the elements of the platform that again I'm exploring and can be used. Wow, embedding model. There are things that embedding that I would explain sometime in near future. Processing options, no pre-processing, no processing. So and there's a prompt behind everything. See, wow, we can process images. And there's parsing options. There's a select search index type. Wow, hybrid search, vector search. So since the generated chunks are like damn weird, we cannot like expect our agent to work like we wish to, right? So let's leave this bad chunking, bad document thing uh, right here. This is the whole document, 8-page document I fed in my system, and these are the chunks it created. So it's like a thing that doesn't make sense. It should not have happened, and I know how to resolve it now. I would say I think I know. I'm learning and building, but again, stepping into unknown confidently, like doing it on purpose with on scale that most people cannot fathom is my element of leverage that I'm leveraging today. Okay, so let's try to wrap it up for the day. Before building agents, ask this: can your system explain your business clearly? My agent is meant for explaining the business, and it doesn't. I'm going to be resolving it soon, very soon. Let's test this in your system. Share one real customer question. I'll break down and answer why the answer works or fails. So let's that's the question, that's the context, that's the hook that works, right? I wish to build upon. Uh, if one customer question is answered multiple times, same way. If it makes sense individually, we can say the agent works, and my agent that currently doesn't, and that is what I'm pitching to my clients. Let's talk. Let's sit together, right? Let's go and do the closure. Your business knows the answer. Your system doesn't. Let's build the system. But you now have the presentation, and that's all. That's all I wanted to do for the day. So I will shut my screen. I'll there was screen share, and that's me. That's me talking to myself having a conversation in a way that every conversation is a scientific event that is like a funnel. Every conversation is a funnel, and every conversation has so many elements of variables that impact a conversation. So if you and me are having a conversation, a lot has to align for both of us to make the most of what we can. Have a good day. Let's have a conversation. I'll be right here.